So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about goals and how we as homemakers should be setting our goals. Hey girlie, my name is Wendy and I am a homeschooling stay-at-home mom of 4 little ones, and on this channel I talk about productivity tips, methods, and resources because peaceful presence can be found when you are a good steward of your time. This is a collaboration hosted by yours truly, talking all about goals. So definitely check out the playlist, check out all these other mamas and what they're doing, how they are setting goals, different goals that they're setting, all things goals going into this new year to help you get some ideas and some tips and some tricks to truly help you set goals for you and your family. So I believe that as homemakers, setting goals allow us to be faithful stewards of our time. And the reason why goal setting is so important is because it allows us to not be reactive, but actually proactive when it comes to managing our home. We get to make the most out of opportunities, and we kind of get to have a vision and a forward momentum and a forward motion in our lives and in our homes and with our families. So I truly believe that without vision, there will be chaos. And with vision, you can have organized chaos, because there is always going to be some kind of chaos. So Proverbs 29:18 says, "Where there is no prophetic vision, the people cast off restraint, but blessed is he who keeps the law." So that brings me to my next point. How do we set these goals? Now, before the actual breakdown of the goals, I want to say that as biblical homemakers, our umbrella should be to love God and to love our neighbors. Now, how do we show that we love God? And that's by obeying his commands. So when it comes to goal setting, the first thing that we look at, or the first thing that we take into account, is God's commands, and making sure that when we are setting our goals, that we are keeping them to God's commandments. Now, when in the Bible, when speaking on biblical goals or biblical vision and casting vision, it is always, or it is explicitly stated that the husbands are the head of the household, and that the wives are the husband's helpmate. And so that is stated all throughout, but especially in Titus 2. Now, I will be the first to admit that I have not always followed this command when it comes to our vision and casting goals for us in our home. This is something new that has been brought to light, or just revealed and really made vital and important in our home, is that when we sit down and make goals, right? We sit down with our husbands to make goals. Because can you imagine, right? You're a business owner or the president of the United States or something like that, and your secretary is the one that's like setting your goals and your vision for the United States, or your vision for your business, or your, you know what I mean? So as the head, the husband should definitely be involved and leading the goals and the vision for the home. And so I say all that to say that when it comes to setting goals and setting vision, number 1, love God. Number 2, love your neighbor. Number 3, keep his commands. Number 4, make sure that when you're setting goals and vision for your home, that you sit down with your husband to discuss these visions so that you both can be moving in the same direction. So now when you sit down to discuss these goals, certain things that to keep into account when you're breaking it down. Personal, family, spiritual, community, home, educational, physical, recreational, financial. Like those big chunks of things, taking into account what goals you want to set for your family is so, so important, because a lot of times we want to focus on one thing and not the other, and it's just really, really important to focus, to have the whole picture, a holistic view of all the things that you want to focus on as a family. Next, write it down. Don't just talk about it. Write it down. When you write things down, it's more concrete. You're more able to see, hey, okay, we're on the same page here, because what we wrote down, what we meant and what we want to do, and you can always reference it and go back to it. It's so, so, so important to write it down. That is something that I talk about on my Peaceful Presence course, along with, establishing your why and your vision and things like that, is writing it down. So many times we are just like, oh, we remember it, or we got it, or it was stated in passing, but just the importance of taking the time to write down your goals really adds value to it and allows for the vision to be clear. Next, break it down into actionable steps. Take each of those big picture goals and break it down into things that you can actually do. I'm taking this course talking about, one of the things that it talks about in the course is breaking down projects into bite-sized tasks, just like the very next thing that you can actually do in like under 10 minutes. So when you sit down and you're like, all right, we want to declutter, and then you just start decluttering everything, that's not an actionable step. That is like a full-blown project. So take it down to the most very basic next step that you can do to help your goals move along. And it's a lot of work, it's a lot of planning, but poor planning is bad. Okay, I don't remember what the saying is. I don't remember what the saying is, but you don't want to plan poorly, okay? You want to plan well, and it just helps to really guide you, and it just helps so that you are not reactive, but you're proactive in everything that you're doing. So let's say, for example, with your children, let's say you have one child that is just been hitting, just out of control when it comes to hitting and being violent towards other siblings, friends, whatever the situation is. When you're reacting to that, you're in the moment. You're like, oh my gosh, he hit again, this, that, and the other. But when you're proactive, you already done set the goal that he's not going to be hitting anymore, or he's going to hit less, or whatever the goal is that you guys have established. And so when you see these opportunities come about, you're like, all right, now's the time to implement the next actionable step, or now's the time to implement the next step in this. And you looking at these things as opportunities rather than as stumbling blocks or being bogged down by these things. You're like, we're trying to get to a goal, and this is how we're gonna do it. Or for example, let's say you're building a table, right? Building a table, why would you be building a table? Let's say you are building a library. Like, I know my friend Katie just redid her whole library. She got new bookcases and everything. And she's like, you know what, I'm gonna build a library. And she's got this huge project, but she just looks at, okay, what's the next thing that I gotta do? Okay, I need to look at some pictures of some bookshelves. Like, that's it. Like, spend 10 minutes looking at pictures of bookshelves, sending the different options to the hub, seeing what he likes, what he doesn't like. And then we move on to the next thing, maybe saving up for one of those bookshelves, or seeing if we can find, taking 5 to 10 minutes a day, going through OfferUp, looking to see if we can find the things. You understand? So like, very next step, not necessarily the big whole picture. And that really, really helps to break down goals. Now, I hope you found this video helpful when it comes to just getting started with setting goals for your home as a homemaker, and making sure that you are a faithful steward of your family, of your time, and of your forward motion and projection. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new here. Like I said, I talk about all things productivity and different tips, methods, and resources. I've got videos coming out next month talking all about new cleaning routines and new laundry systems and all the things that we've got going on over here, just to give you guys a bunch of ideas and things like that. So make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss out on those videos. Don't forget to check out the playlist, and until next time, bye.